meteorologist Bobby Deskins.
And I'm 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist Colleen Campbell.
Good afternoon, everybody. Here we go, getting towards the weekend. So we've got a lot going on this weekend. Weather-wise is pretty quiet. We do have a rain chance later Sunday afternoon. It's kind of small. It's highest along the coast. But we need it. So we're kind of hoping to get a couple showers. Really don't want it on the weekend, but I don't think it's going to be terrible to cancel a lot of plans. And we also have the tropics to talk about. Now, we're not expecting development in the tropics really until the middle of next week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe. However, what we're doing now and in between is watching the forecast models. And Colleen, today it looks like we finally got at least a little bit of a hint of agreement of the models.
Yes.
A little bit at least.
It's amazing how much changes in 24 hours.
And the problem is how much will change again.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
a lot of uncertainty.
A lot of uncertainty. So let's start with where we are now. There's 30% chance for development for that system out in the central Atlantic. That's what we're watching. It is coming across the Atlantic now. I got to take you this one up here to the north because they've hatched an area to watch there. It's moving out either way. It's cold cord, so I don't really get that one too much. But Bermuda will keep an eye on it. They're going to get a couple breezes from it. Okay?
That's a leftover nor'easter, correct?
Part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember it's
Trying
split.
to spin. Yep.
So, yeah, it's up there. But this is the main one that we need to focus on right here. You can see pretty good wave of moisture still. There's actually a little wave out ahead of it. It's actually kind of far to the south right now.
Yeah.
So that would go a little further. That you would not get as much spin there, and it would go a little further to the west. But either way, the forecast models do take it into the Caribbean late this weekend into next week, really Monday, Tuesday time frame. It's kind of over in this area here. I've noticed they did trim back. They had this extended out past Barbados. They started with it in here, then they extended it out past Barbados, and now they got it back in here. But pretty much, yeah, there's going to be some development in the Caribbean.
Yes.
I mean, it's almost the whole thing there.
Yeah, now exactly where, how far west, how far east, and does this thing stall out? You know, a lot of the models have been trying to stall it out. When does it, if it does at all, eject out to the east? There's just a lot to be determined still. We still have some time to watch this thing.
Yeah, plenty of time. Here's a comparison of the two models. So you've got the European in the green colors that you're going to see here, right? And you're going to watch this area for the European. This is the GFS, and this is already a week from today. All right, so that's how far out in time we're talking, right? The European doesn't really have much. A week from today. Right. The GFS has a closed low, which could be something. That's Wednesday, Thursday time frame. But watch this. As the GFS goes out to the
goes out
the northeast, but that, you know, that's a Puerto Rico issue, that's a Dominican Republic issue. Meanwhile, the European is sitting back here.
Yes.
And this is now the 27th. And what's happening is the European keeps pushing it back and back and back and back in time. So I'm not exactly sure on their forecast model this particular time. Having said that, you know, Colleen, we don't trust the GFS as much for this type of long-range forecast.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the European definitely wants to keep it lingering a little bit longer and weaker, whereas the GFS kind of hits the ground running, shoots it off to the east, but we know the GFS can be kind of sporadic at times.
GFS comes in and does something like that. European comes in and does something like this, and then comes up and out like that. I mean, it's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's the agreement that I want to say agreement, because this is not agreeing, right? But this right in here for the European, the GFS, and then even the AI models in there in the middle, that's new today. All right, and I'll show you a closer look at that coming up. Let's just focus right here on the GFS, and you can see where it kind of lingers it. In fact, let's back up right here. All right, this is a week from yesterday. All right, 6 days out. Got a low south of Dominican Republic, south of Haiti there, and then you see it slowly just drifting there. That was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So not this Saturday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, Puerto Rico. Crosses Puerto Rico next weekend, and then by Monday it's pulling away. So this is a next weekend storm according to the GFS. Now, let's look at the European model. This is a week from today. All right, nothing. Well, shouldn't say that. You can see this little curve right here. Yeah, it's trying to see something. All right, so let's go out through Saturday, a week from tomorrow. Next weekend, Sunday. Something started. Oh, there we go. Sunday afternoon. All right, so that takes a while, and then it's just getting it. Now, this is backed up in time. I mean, it was doing this Thursday, Friday time frame. Now it's saying Saturday, Sunday. So it's having a hard time seeing it, and maybe it maybe doesn't get all the way across. Maybe that's what this is. But I kind of put this together because also this morning when I came in, this was really good news. The Google DeepMind AI model has been doing very, very well. In fact, it's been beating all of the models, not only for location of the storms this year, but intensity, and that's really tough to do. All right, that's been more accurate than the Hurricane Center as for its track. Now, it doesn't mean it's always going to be right, okay? But today, it's the purple line, all right? It does something like this, comes up across Hispaniola, maybe Puerto Rico, and comes out. Very similar to what the GFS is saying.
Yeah.
All right, so to see those two, I mean, the GFS we just don't trust as much because it hasn't been doing so good lately. But to see the AI model do it, the Google DeepMind, that we're starting to lean on a little bit more. And then to see the Euro, the daytime runs have had it doing something out here and then coming to the east and then going out. So it's very little agreement, but it is some agreement. And it's right out here. And again, it's just the way I'm doing it. You can probably hear it in my voice, but I'm definitely weighing heavier on that AI model than anything else. But that's all we're doing at this point. It's just so far out in time. I mean, what was it? Was it Ian that was going to hit here?
And turned last second, yeah.
At like 24 hours before it made landfall, right? It went south, went down into Siesta Key. So that's 24 hours out. So to sit here and go 10 days, 8 days out and say what's going to happen, I mean, it's just too far out in time.
Right.
And so that's why you hear us and show us and see us showing you model comparisons.
Yeah. Now, Bobby, I think a large, which we haven't seen with every system so far this season, the large disagreement to me would be the timing, really, because the European does eventually bring it on that track that the AI and the GFS model is trying to do. It's just way later in time. We're talking days difference, which I don't remember seeing that so often with at least with the systems we've had this year. The timing has been more in agreement. It was kind of the track with some of these other systems that were like, oh, well, the Euro wants to go this way, GFS wants to go this way. But I find it interesting how long the Euro takes it to form, and after it's kind of stalled out south of the Yucatan there, how long it actually takes it to the northeast. But it seems like the track is pretty similar. It's just the timing that's off.
Yeah, well, you can see where the GFS has it south of Hispaniola, and then it comes, and that's Thursday, by the way, a week from yesterday, and then it comes up and eventually goes out, goes east and then northeast, okay? Let's go out to Thursday on the European model. I'll have to back it up here just a little bit, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's way to the west. So it's later and it's further to the west. And in fact, here, let's go out through into Sunday, and we're just now starting to see something develop. Meanwhile, the GFS had that south of Hispaniola on Thursday.
Yeah.
So that's a big time difference, Thursday to Sunday. And so something's got to go one way or the other. The AI model went with the GFS model. All right, so we're talking about which one is starting to get favored right now, it would probably be that, okay? So we'll keep an eye on it. And here's the thing, man, that water is so warm. And we're talking, what you see here, anything that's colored red or that purple, that's 80+ degree water. That's what the water temperature needs to be for the evaporation to go inside basically the hurricane, because that warm water is fuel for the fire. It's providing moisture that goes up into that storm. When that water gets below 80 degrees, even 78, 79 degrees, that system starts to weaken. All right, and so that's why we focus on 80+ degree water. That's kind of the reason why the season is when it is, right? Because that 80+ degree water expands during the summer months.
Right.
So yes, it's warm, but take a look at those areas in the Caribbean. Very, very warm water there. And in fact, have we had a system there? We haven't.
No, so far this season we haven't.
We haven't. So that's untapped
territory. Yeah.
Territory there. I mean, that is very warm water. You know, when you get that upwelling occurring, when the wind blows on the top water, the bottom water, or at least a little bit lower down, comes up to replace that water. That's slightly cooler. Haven't had any of that. And that numbers-wise is running 3 degrees above average in many locations. And that puts a lot of that water at record high water temps. Okay, this is the water temp anomaly, how much warmer it is than normal. And you can see that all those +3s, that's a really large area of very warm water. So if something does get in there, and then look, this is where the GFS has it, and that's where the European has it. So either way, there's still a lot of warm water around. In fact, the GFS has it here and then out to here, and that's about +3 even north of Puerto Rico. So you can understand why the model is going to try and run something up and get it pretty strong. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about our local forecast for the weekend.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Familiarize yourself with where your water shutoff valve is located. If backflow prevention devices are installed, get them tested annually.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40-TODAY.
I was driving when a Ford pickup truck barreled into me from behind, sending me to the hospital.
I knew my husband was going to need an excellent attorney, so I called Dan Newland.
I'm so glad my wife called Dan. Dan really fought for me. He won my case and got me $650,000.
If you've been involved in a car accident, allow me to fight for you. Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan, for winning my husband's case.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. Unique quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
All right, live look outside at the beach right now. We actually took our St. Pete camera and turned it around all the way back out towards the beach. And it is pretty nice out there right now.
Beautiful. Good
looking weekend ahead. We do have a small rain chance. We'll have to talk about that. Before we get there, the dew points are dropping. We've got a northeast wind, east to northeast wind today. And it's a little different to think of because cold fronts for us come in from the north and the west. But we get our drier and sometimes even cooler air, at least this time of the year, from the northeast. It's out over the Atlantic. The high pressure brings all that nice cool air up to the folks up north in the mid-Atlantic and the Carolinas and then pushes it off out over the Atlantic. And then the northeast winds on the right side of that cooler air come down across Florida, and that's what we're getting. So the dew points are actually dropping right now and will continue through the evening hours. So if you head out on your Friday night and you think, man, it feels a little bit more comfortable, a little less humid, it will. It should.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. And the first half of tomorrow should be that way too, but then later tomorrow you start to feel the humidity come back. But a dew point of 59 degrees right now, that actually feels pretty good. Air temps mid-80s, 84 in Brooksville, 87 in Wesley Chapel, 85 right now in Tampa, and 84 in Sarasota. We shouldn't get too much warmer than that very late in the day for that to warm up. But you can see the clouds, it's kind of partly cloudy and rain-free out there today.
And you can see how they're riding along that northeast wind.
Yep, east northeast wind, and that's what's bringing in some of that drier air. So we will take that. Take a look at the next 12 hours. You'll see that Friday night forecast looks really good. Football games, dinner out, you're going to eat outside on the lanai, whatever you're doing, it looks really nice weather-wise. We'll be down into the 80s through about 6:30 to 7, but after 7 o'clock, most areas will be into the 70s, and then low to mid 60s for tomorrow morning. It's actually going to be a little bit cooler than what it has been. Taking the boat out the rest of the evening, you can see we're going to keep those east to northeast winds. The bay looks pretty good, but I think it gets a little bit breezier if you're planning on trying to go offshore. It is going to be a little bit bumpy, about 2 footers off there. East to northeast winds 10 to 15 knots and closer to 15 offshore. There are the morning temps. This morning was a little bit warmer.
Yeah, it will certainly feel nice inland, so, away from the water. Those low 60s, definitely pleasant to wake up to. You can't complain about that in October. And some upper 50s, too.
Yeah, Dade City, Brooksville, Crystal River, all upper 50s. This morning, those were closer to about 60, 62 because the dew points were a little bit higher. Now let's get into the weekend forecast. This is your Saturday. We're talking mid-80s again for highs. Look at that, lots of sunshine. Remember, we start out with some dry air, so we won't see much in the way of low clouds. We'll see a few, but I'd say probably even less than what we have out there for today. All right, let's
There's
go
our
out
little front.
to Sunday. That is 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. So we're gonna, about a 30% chance for rain right now. And the problem with this, watch it, I'm going to move this forward slow. It falls right apart as it goes inland. That's 7 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock. All right, it just falls apart. And kind of typical for fronts this time of the year, but not typical. Well, I guess it is. By the time we get to Monday morning, the front itself is still coming through. Now, it does not look like we get a really good push of cool and dry air behind this front. You see it kind of falls apart, and you see the green getting hung up here? That's by Monday afternoon. That's not clearing out. You know, the heavier rain, or the chance of it, would be on that side of it, the south side of it. When you see this here and it just kind of lingers, you're not getting a good push of cool, dry air, at least not initially.
Right.
Right. This is what, Monday afternoon? I think by the time we get towards Tuesday, we're going to lose some of the data here. Tuesday night into Wednesday, then we start to see the cooler, drier air.
Yeah, kind of that secondary weaker front.
Yeah.
So
here's what it looks like. You can see the brown. Follow the brown. There's the green with the front. All right. Now I see the brown. It kind of gets hung up.
Yeah.
This is Monday afternoon. We're still, still got some moisture down here. Dry air's here. And then, see how it got hung up real fast? And then Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock, here comes this front.
Push. Yeah.
And then that's got a lot drier air back behind it, and that comes through. At least that's what we're hoping, because that helps protect us from any tropical mischief that's happening down here. And this is the European model, so it's not going to show you, sorry about that, it's not going to show you, the GFS has a big storm right here near Puerto Rico. It's barely closing off a low down here. But the key is, where is this? Where are these fronts?
Right.
Because that's what's going to either pick it up from here and go, or pick it up from here and go,
Yeah.
if it's that far. Now, dew points. This is the humidity tracker, okay? If you take a look at that comfortable air for tomorrow morning, and then really I think it does come up at least a little bit overnight, Saturday night and Sunday, but during the day on Sunday, the humidity starts to come back up. Now, remember how we said that that front that comes through Monday and the Tuesday doesn't give us a big push, but then by Wednesday and Thursday it does. And it's coming right back down, and we'll probably end up with dew points back into the 50s. In fact, we could, by the end of next week, a week from today, have some of the driest air we've seen so far with dew points in the mid-50s.
Yeah, as that high slides over from across land, and you figure it's coming over from the Rockies area, that's going to give us that cooler, drier continental air that we really yearn for this time of the year. It doesn't always make it down to our region, but if we get that second push, that will definitely help drop those dew points down and keep the rain chances low as well. So expected rainfall, of course, with that first front we're talking about, although it's not a ton of rain, maybe a quarter of an inch. What do you think, Bobby? I mean,
I'd be shocked
totals,
if we even got a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to squeeze out there. But
so this is Sunday, late afternoon, early evening. This is Monday, midday. And Tuesday, see how it's trying to linger all that rain? I think that's quite a bit, to be honest with you. It's too much. And most of it's not in our area, it's down in the south. So we're saying, well, southern Sarasota County and Highlands, right? Even Harding, DeSoto. But we'll have to see. That, I think, to me, more than anything else, that's cloud cover with a small chance of a couple sprinkles. We'll see how that spreads, how that plans out. It's really tough to forecast fronts that stall, right? Exactly where they're going to stall, and then what are they going to look like at that point? Because if it's coming through and keeps on going, the dynamics of it would give you a decent line of showers, and then things would push through and come out, right? But when it gets stalled up, then things start to change a little bit. So that forecast is a little up in the air. Thankfully, most of it's for next week. Now, the GFS model for this forecasted high temps, it's buying into the cooler air back here.
Yep.
All right, it's got that good front coming through. That's the one that picks up the storm and takes it over Puerto Rico and up and out. Keeps highs back down to actually about average, which would by that time be about 85 degrees. And then it drops the lows a week from today into next weekend. And now for Tampa, okay, into the low 60s. Tampa's been in the upper 60s. So if Tampa gets in the lower 60s, that means you're talking mid 50s away from the water, and especially you're talking low 50s up north. So that would be some of the coolest air that we've seen so far.
Yeah. Now, last year, Bobby, this happened after we had Milton move through. That's when we finally got our fall break. And after that, it was all easy breezy. But, you know, we really haven't had, which I'm not complaining, a tropical system to kind of change up our forecast like that so far this year. And hopefully what will soon be Melissa, and we could get Nestor too, far away from us. You know, hopefully that will be just the end of tropical storm season.
It would be nice. It would be nice. That water's still warm, all right? We still need to watch that. But
yeah.
But you get a cold front that does something like this.
Yes.
A good, and so you're getting successive cold fronts, one right after the other. And maybe not each one of them's got a big push, but it kind of steps down your temperatures. And once you do that, then you start lowering the water temperatures. Water temperatures are a lot slower to come down and a lot slower to come up. So the air is going to dry out and cool off pretty quickly. The water temperatures take a little bit of time, and you keep doing something like this, and then eventually that will happen.
Yep.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk your 7-day forecast.
I was involved in a very bad car accident. Called attorney Dan Newland, and it was like 1, 2, 3. Dan really got it done for me. At the end of my case, he got me $525,000.
As one of the largest personal injury law firms in the United States, my team and I remain committed more than ever to win big on your case. Involved in a car accident? Let's get started. Call me at 813-888-8000.
Thank you, Dan, for winning my case.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. Unique quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
All right, our 7-day forecast. So we were talking before the break about our little fronts that are moving through. Although they're weaker, they will produce a little bit of rain. Did bump up that rain chance to 30% for Sunday, but again, don't go just off the percentage. That doesn't mean it's going to be a